Okay. Welcome, 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 soldiers and soft life seekers and mermaids and everything in between. Welcome to Savvy Soldier Abroad. And I have a wonderful guest that I am interviewing tonight. It is Crystal Diamond, and she is going to be sharing her life of gallivanting around the world. But the most important thing that I want her to share with us tonight is this wonderful water retreat that is going to be happening in August. I think it is amazing. When I first started seeing it, I said, oh my God, that sister had a divine download about what she needs to be offering to women like me who were afraid of the water for a very, very long time. And oftentimes, it wasn't about me not getting my hair wet. I was just trying to stay above water. How about that? So
That part.
welcome, Crystal. Please introduce yourself. Tell us about yourself, and then we're just going to get right. We're going to dive right in.
Let's dive right in. Oh my goodness. Savvy, I am so happy to be here tonight to join you and all of your subscribers and listeners. I appreciate the opportunity. I am Diamond Crystal, also known as the Gallivanting Grandma, and I am a global nomad. I'm an international five-star house sitting professional. I am an intentional connector, and I am the curator of Back to the Water Swim Retreat 2025.
All
And
right, all right.
yes, thank
Oh,
you.
so okay. Now, Crystal, when I Diamond, I
Yes.
always want to flip your name. When I think of Diamond Crystal, the things that I think about first of all is the gallivanting grandma,
The Gallivanting Grandma, yes.
like as a house sitter. I
Uh-huh.
also know you as co-living. More recently, I'm learning that you are into that co-living beautiful vein, and then
Yes.
now this water retreat.
Yeah.
So can you tell me one of the questions that I have for you is, at what age did you start gallivanting around the world?
Okay, well, at the very young age of 58, I became an accidental global nomad. And if
Okay.
I've told the story once, I've told it 1,000 times. But for those of you who do not know and not familiar, I was granted in 2022 a 60-day sabbatical, a paid sabbatical from my then employer. And so, life had lifed me all the things. And I was like, I need to get away and I need to start a healing journey for myself, right? It was time. So I brought myself to where I am right now, Manta, Ecuador, to the ocean so that I could start healing. And on day 50, my job started contacting me. Oh, we're so excited that you're coming back. And, because it was only 60 days, right? And so I'm saying, well, I'm having anxiety attacks. Like, I'm not going back. I can't go back. And so when they told me, listen, this is a crossroads, you either come back and you have a job, or we can't secure your position for you because we granted you 60 days paid. And that was when I chose myself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's how I became an accidental global nomad, because I was supposed to go back to the States and
My
resume
God.
my normal life because, of course, I can heal myself in 60 days. I was Superwoman, right? Yeah.
Oh my God. It's funny that you said Superwoman. I've been practicing that song for karaoke tomorrow. So
Oh,
I'm glad you used that word.
yes, yeah.
So oh my gosh. I mean, I can't even imagine the emotional roller coaster that you were on in that particular time. Do
Yeah.
I go back? Do I not go back? Do I go for the money? Do I go for the
Right.
healing? So I mean, talk us through that process. I mean, were savings in place, or you just wasn't worried about that? I mean, so tell us, how do you do that? How did you do that? I mean, because you look healed, sister. You look healed.
Thank you. It is a process. And I will tell anyone that I feel more well than I ever have in my entire life. This year, I will be 63, God willing. And, at the end of the day, I've never felt better holistically.
Yes.
So, let's be real. Money's a thing, right?
And
So when I made that decision, I was still employed. So I had income coming in, right?
okay.
But when I said no, I'm not coming back, that just stopped. And so
Oh,
I had a come to diamond moment. Like, how you gonna live? Where you gonna
right.
live? You don't have no income. You don't have, a covering of a husband or a partner. My parents were both gone from this world. And that's when I embraced house sitting on an international basis. I was already outside the country.
Okay.
So I found that's why Chapala is so special to me. Okay. So indulge
Oh,
me for just one moment. I found a 5.5 month house sit in Chapala, Mexico. And I said, that's where I'm going. And I called up one of my sister girls and I said, I need you to pray with me because if this is for me, I'm going to get it. And she said, this is for you. And we prayed about that house sit. And don't you know, like it was an
oh my
immediate
God.
connection when we did the video call. And I was invited there to care for their very independent indoor outdoor cat. They left me a car to drive, and I named her Hot Tamale because we were all over the state of Jalisco in that little car. You hear me? And that started my
Oh
global
my
nomadic
God.
journey. Yes, it was
That is amazing.
divinely appointed just for me.
That is amazing. I want to say hi to Sin and hi to Sonia of Mind and Manna. They just joined
Hey,
in.
sis.
Ladies, if you
Yes.
have any questions for Diamond, please drop them down in the comment section and we'll make sure to try to get to them. But thank you for joining us. We are excited
Yes.
that you are here. This is amazing. Yes, that was definitely synchronicity, a divine appointment.
Absolutely.
Timing is
I
just
mean,
everything. And when
yes.
I apologize for Chapala's background noise, but
And here.
it just adds flavor to the show. But when you are connected to the divine and you can go to him and ask for what it is you need, and then here he lays it out. 5 months.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you went from
Absolutely.
60 days to 5 more months.
Yes, yes. So, needless to say, my daughter, I only have one child. My daughter was like, hold up, wait a minute. Like, what you mean you're not coming back for another 6 months? That was not part of the plan. I didn't approve this because they think they your mama when they get to a
Exactly.
certain age, right?
Exactly.
But yes, yes, what you said earlier resonates because you have to have enough still and quiet time to be able to,
Mhm.
first of all, hear, and
Yes.
second of all, be obedient. And so I could hear
Mm.
that this was for me. This was the path that I was supposed to take. Did I do it afraid? I absolutely did. I'm like, I'm going to be living in Mexico for almost 6 months by myself. This was not planned. I don't know the language. All the things were going through my mind, but my hashtag faith over fear. Put your
Oh,
faith in front of your fear and keep moving in the direction of your dreams. And I had dreams of international travel. And that really jump started it. So I'm glad Sonia is on because she is one of the first sisters who embraced me when I came to that
oh,
lakeside community
oh
all the
my
way back in
God.
2022.
Oh my gosh. Now she has dropped the question in the link and it says, what made you decide to pursue the Healing Water Retreat? That's one question. And
Okay.
how has the collaboration been since central essential or central to the process?
Okay. It's personal.
Okay.
I tell anybody, house sitting, as I told my story just now, is personal. It was
Yeah.
personal. So when I discovered what a benefit it was in my life, I decided to share it with other sisters because
Mm,
I'm not like I got mine, you get yours. I'm like, listen,
right.
let me tell you about this newfangled thing.
Right.
It's a real thing. So I started sharing house sitting. So the same way that I am sharing the swim retreat, it's very personal. My grandmother did not know how to swim.
Mm,
Hence, my mother did not know how to swim. So I had no access to the water as I was growing up until the age of 10. And at that point, my fear was deep rooted.
Yes.
So it was like, okay, I was too afraid to learn from that
Mm-hmm.
point. Even though I
Mm-hmm.
grew up on Long Island in New York, I was surrounded by
Wow.
water.
Wow.
But I never learned that skill. So it's very personal to me to break this generational trauma. And
Mm-hmm.
then, I went to Portugal. I went to the Algarve and I was trying to be cute, get some pictures by the beach and everything. Girl, I almost drowned,
Not drowned.
like all the way gone. And it
Oh
was,
my
I'll never
God.
forget, it was Mother's Day weekend. It was Mother's Day weekend, and I'm a solo traveler. So, I took the ferry out to one of the islands, and I'm just walking around and I'm enjoying the scenery, all the things. And I said, oh, yeah, I'm going to just, you get your camera and you get that
Right,
angle
right.
and you backing it up. I backed up one, backed up two, three, I was gone. If there was not a good Samaritan on that beach in the Algarve of Portugal, we would not be having this conversation.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And
Yeah.
so a traumatic experience
Yes.
birthed
Yes.
this retreat.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my
Um,
God.
and then last year, I traveled the world as an international house sitter, right? I was spending the month of February in Cartagena, Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
And my house sitting mate and co-living partner Wendy was with me, and we are out on the beach in Cartagena. It's a beautiful day, we're enjoying, and I said, I'm gonna go down to this water, I'm gonna get in this water, right? But I'm afraid. And I was so disgusted
Oh.
with myself, Savvy, because all I could do, my fear stopped me right at my ankles. And I'm like,
Mm.
what if Portugal happens again? I was disgusted. So I
Oh.
turned around, went back to my beach chair, and that is the exact moment I decided to have a swim retreat to address the swim disparity amongst sisters who look like us.
Oh my God. That is such an amazing story. And there are so many. Like you, I grew up around water
Yeah.
I was born in Michigan, Muskegon, Michigan, right on Lake Michigan. And,
Yes.
I used to hear stories of the undertow. So I was always afraid to go out further than waist deep. What if
Yes.
that undertow comes and grabs me and snatches me away? And so I never learned how to swim in Lake
Hmm.
Michigan. As a
Right.
matter of fact, it wasn't until I was in my 40s that I finally took a swimming course at the Y.
Mm.
And so
Hmm.
that's where I learned to kind of overcome the fear of at least getting my face wet and
Yes.
not worrying about it plugging my ears, it's going to be all right, and learned how to float. And I'm
Yeah.
good going on my back, but I still do not know how to, I don't know
Yeah.
how to do this thing or the
Yeah.
breaststroke, because there's still an underlining fear there. What if?
Absolutely. And that fear is real. It is palpable if you do not know how to swim and you get close to a body of water. There are certain statistics that say that more than 60% of Black adults have never taken a swim lesson. There are more than 72% of Hispanic adults who have never taken a swim lesson. And so we can talk about the socioeconomic reasons behind some of the generational fears, just having limited access to bodies of
Mhm.
water, and then having instructors, whether they be family or professional, who can help you overcome this fear safely, right? So
Wow.
there are a whole lot of issues that go into why we are not in the water. We're built of water,
85% minimum.
85%.
Yes,
We need to get back to the water. So,
exactly.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Here in Chapala, the water is a sacred thing here. It's a living thing. And I recently, after, hearing about your water retreat and thinking about how magnificent this is, how wonderful this is, I've now started referring to water as my blue relative. And I want a
Yes.
better relationship with them. And so tell us how your retreat can help us do that.
Well, we are going to address it holistically. And you're
Okay.
absolutely right. You know, many of my marketing pieces on social media will ask the question, is the water a place of healing or is it a place of trauma? And that's a question we all have to answer. And, you know, for me, it's a combination of both. I love the
Mm,
water. You know,
hmm.
I'm in a waterfront apartment right now in Monte, Ecuador, because it's my happy place. It's what I want to see, hear, smell, touch as often as I possibly can. But the trauma stops me from completely embracing the healing
Wow.
properties of the water, right? Um,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, you know, it's incredible that we are having this conversation at this
Hmm.
stage in life, but I realize that I can't be the only one. And
You're right.
all of my ventures are really their personal quest to overcome
Mhm.
something in my life. And I figure if I gotta overcome it, there are other sisters who do as well. So let's open it
Exactly.
up and have the conversation.
Yes. Sonia just said water is a sacred ancestor.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She has another question in here.
Uh-huh.
When do you look back on the last when you look back on the last few years, what has surprised you the most about the progress during this time?
My personal progress or
Personal progress or hearing the stories of others, because I'm sure women have reached out to you and said,
yes.
you're my angel, you're my lifeguard, you know.
Yeah. I will say that what has surprised me the most is that I now have a serious relationship with my intuition.
Okay.
I can recognize her voice. I respect her voice. And that has come with time and healing and a whole lot of, you know, introspective work. Talking to my young child inside.
Yeah.
So now I trust my intuition more than anything else. And as I move along this journey called life, I'm not afraid to open my mouth, use my voice to help other sisters overcome some of
Mm,
these, you know, life is life in us everywhere that I
yeah.
go, you know? So being able to hold space in a safe and sacred space for women all over the world is something that it has surprised me. It's just pleasantly surprising.
Well, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
When um in your traveling, what was the location or where was the place where you received the most transformation?
Whereas I received the most
Transformation on
transformation.
yeah, on this journey.
Mexico.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not saying that because I'm on with you and Sonia, but like I said, I started this healing journey 60 days only in Ecuador, right?
Right.
Um, and then going into Mexico, I met the most incredibly supportive sisters who understood that I was on a different kind of a journey. They didn't look at me crazy because they didn't know me, right? They
Right.
didn't know my past. So they were like, okay, I get it. So when you get around like-minded women who are secure in themselves and
Mhm.
you find that you have safe space to be,
Right.
it will facilitate the healing that you're looking for. I did the 5.5 months in Chapala, and then the following year, I came back for a full 47 days, and I spent time specifically with one of the sisters there who really helped to transform my thinking with regards to embracing and healing my inner child.
Oh,
So,
oh yes.
Mexico has been the most transformative of any of the places that I've been.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's
Who's
that
your
community.
Oh yeah, we definitely have community here in Chapala.
Yes,
I feel closer to individuals I know here than some of my blood relatives. And
absolutely.
that's just the truth of the matter.
Yeah,
It's a chosen family,
absolutely.
and it's just different. So in that same vein, who all is your support system? I know you talked about your daughter.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen her in some of your beautiful photos.
Thank you. Thank you. She and my granddaughter, that's my tribe right now. When I lost my parents and I decided to embrace this nomadic lifestyle, as you said, when you grow, sometimes you make room for
Mm-hmm.
new people, because old people that have been a part of your life from a historical standpoint, or just because I grew up with her, we're friends.
Right.
um
Yes.
Sometimes you lose some of them along the way, but that
Yes.
just opens up space for whomever is supposed to be on this next leg of the journey.
Oh my
So
God.
it's my tribe, it is my co-living partner, Wendy. She is the big sister I never knew I needed.
Oh, that
There
is
are 8 years
amazing.
between us. And so,
Ah,
just being able to share sister to sister, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever we're going through in life. We just did an intensive healing program up in Cuenca, Ecuador together, 30 days healing, where it
tell
was
us
just
more. Tell us more.
it was facilitated by Lorana Hughes of the International Welcome Center in Cuenca, Ecuador, and we were part of the first Gangsta Granny cohort for 2025. So healing is the most gangster thing you can do for you and your tribe, right? So as the
Right.
matriarch now, listen, I kind of didn't want that title, right? But it's a fact. As the matriarch of my small and mighty tribe, I feel like, it was time for me to get as much healing as I possibly could, and giving
Yes.
myself a dedicated 30 days to deal with the trauma that I've been dragging along for 50 plus years. It was past time.
Oh my gosh, that
Yeah.
is amazing. So now what I want you to do is tell us about this upcoming retreat. I want as many people to hear about it, as many women. There's women out here who haven't heard yet. So I want them to know what it is, how they can enroll, what is the future going forward, because I hope this isn't the one and only. I'm hoping that
It-
this is a series.
Is that your hope?
That's my hope. And you know
Keep
what
hope
hope
alive,
means to
girl.
me?
Keep hope
Hope,
alive.
having optimistic prevailing expectation.
I'm loving it. Okay, well, I can speak to that because this is a 5-year initiative. This is year one of this initiative. I am taking it to Colombia because that's where I had my divine inspiration. That's where I got the epiphany, right on the shores there. So we're taking it to Cartagena, Colombia for 10 days, August 17th through 27. And I am saying it is a luxury learning experience. We are all going to come together. It's for Black women only, women of color. So it is BIPOC, Black, Indigenous people of color. That
Okay.
we are catering to our community, or catering to the matriarchs of our community who
Mhm.
still have not overcome this aquaphobia, this fear. So we're going to learn together over an intense 3 days, 3 times a day for 3 days straight, with certified instructors out of the country of Colombia, who are going to take their time and deal with it holistically, mentally,
Oh, that is
emotionally, and then physically. So we're going to have some activities that get us comfortable with our bodies in the water,
mhm.
right? Become one with the water. Because once, like you said, if you can embrace it as your ancestors, if you can embrace it as your friend, as a place of healing, as opposed to a
Yes,
place of fear and trauma, then you are definitely on the way to learning how to swim.
that
So
is
yeah, it's going to
that
be a fantastic 10 days. And the fourth day, we are all going to go on a day yacht cruise, where we are going to jump off the back of the cruise, out the back of the yacht, into the open water with certified instructors and lifeguards. And we are going to become one with the water.
oh my gosh. It
Yeah.
sounds absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Now, how did you procure these instructors? Um,
You know, you have to have a network of sisters. You
Yeah,
really do.
yeah.
So when I was in Colombia, I met up with a wonderful sister there who owns a business in Cartagena. She owns the Flying Dress Experience, and if you've seen those wonderful flowing dresses in Santorini, Greece, and you know some of those, she owns that business there in Old
Okay.
Town Cartagena. So we made an instant connection, and when I told her about the retreat, she said, "I want to be a part of it. I want to collaborate." So Christina of the Flying Dress of Cartagena is my exclusive concierge for this event because she's
Okay.
lived there for almost 4 years, boots on the ground. So you have to have a network of people who are like minded, who can embrace your vision without any competition, all
Yes.
about collaboration. Come on, let's work together and make this work for the greater
Yes.
good. So yeah, she was instrumental in helping me secure the villa where we are going to be learning how to swim. All of the excursions that we're going to do, including going to the free town of Palenque, Colombia, the first free town in South America. So I'm excited
Oh,
about
okay.
I'm excited about the whole 10 days. While the first 4 or 5 days are really dedicated to swimming, we are going to have some fun. Because this also bridges my birthday, by
Yeah.
the way. So, yeah,
Oh,
we're going to have
okay.
a little fun for
Okay.
my birthday,
Okay.
too. Yeah.
Oh, it sounds amazing. Amazing. Diamond, I am so glad that you're doing this. I'm glad that you have a 5-year plan so that I can
Yes.
partake in it. It
Yes.
is something that I want to support. And so please let people know that Savvy Soldier Abroad and Mind and Mana support this wonderful retreat. We are going to share with the world. I'm going to talk about it. I hope that I did justice in the description of what
Oh,
I felt it was
absolutely.
going to be like just watching you
Yes.
on the different platforms. And just know that I'm praying for a successful swim retreat, not just this year, but in the years to
Thank
come, because
you.
it's a healing that needs to take place
Yeah.
with our sisters.
Absolutely. I receive all of that. Thank you so much. And coming from you and Sonia means so much because you guys have done wonderful things there in the community with your co-living, your B&B there, and then most recently your retreat where you are encouraging women to get their freedom by coming and having a soft landing there in Chapala, Mexico. And I can attest to that. That is my testimony. I had a
Yeah.
very soft landing coming to Chapala. And so that's why it's always going to be a second home for me. So
Oh,
you and encouraging people to do that is very, very important. But I appreciate the opportunity to really talk about the swim disparity because it's real. you know um Here are some numbers and some facts according to the CDC, right? 37% of Black Americans report not being able to swim.
mm,
37%, as opposed to 15% of our white counterparts, right? Now
hmm.
let's talk about our babies. Let's talk about our babies. Black children drown at almost 10% higher rates than white children,
Wow.
right? And then when you talk about, horseplay in the pool, Marco Polo, the kids like to play around, et cetera, et cetera. Our Black young men, boys under the age of 10 are drowning at a higher rate because they think they can swim, but they
Oh,
don't have the vital skill. So, I'm looking at it as a grandma. I got
hmm,
one granddaughter, right? One grandchild. She's almost 10. She swears she can swim. She does things on the water, under the water, and she's confident. She has no fear. I don't want to put that fear in her. But
hmm.
also I know inherently as a guardian, God, what if something happens while she's in the water? I can't save her. That's a
Yeah.
horrible position to be in as a parent or a grandparent. So let's stop now. Let's
Yes.
change the trajectory of this, right? Let's change the narrative.
Yes.
Because when I first thought about this, I'm like, can you actually learn to swim in 3 days? So I'm gonna take it to this winter. I spent some time in Albuquerque, New Mexico, visiting with my daughter and my granddaughter. One of the swim instructors was coming through and she said, Miss Diamond, come to the pool for 3 1-hour sessions. And I'm like, okay, you're going to prove to me that I can swim in 3 hours? Savvy. I will tell you that in the first hour, I was petrified. I was like, I can't get in the water. I'm
Oh,
not going anywhere close to 5 feet. I'm not letting go of the wall. I'm not doing any of that. I can't do this.
oh
And
my gosh.
with consistent encouragement, at the end of 2 days and 3 hours, I swam across the short length of the pool.
Mm, mm, mm.
So I know it can be done.
Oh my gosh.
Right? You got to have the right instructors. You got to have a safe, supportive environment. And you got to eliminate all the barriers to your
Hmm.
hesitation to learning, right? So
Yes.
we're all mature women. We ain't worried about what we look like in our bathing suits. We're not gonna worry about our hair, right?
No,
Because
no.
I'm speaking a swim cap sponsor who's gonna cover our tresses for us.
Oh,
I'm
come on
speaking
now.
that
Come
we
on.
ha- we have a sponsor who's going to help power our bodies. Black Girl Vitamins has stepped up, and they are the official supplement and vitamin sponsor for it. So their vitamins
Great.
are geared for women who are 50 and older. So, we need to get our bodies in shape and
Yes.
all that kind of
Yes.
stuff. So, I have tried to eliminate every single obstacle to feeling safe and secure in this learning environment. And on top of that, we just gonna be laid out by the pool when we're not learning how to swim. We have luxury suites and things that we can take advantage of, including some journaling and some
Oh, great.
introspective time.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah. So how do you actually feel coming in? I know there's gonna be a lot of anxiety. I have
Yeah.
anxiety. But
Yeah.
we're going to try and eliminate that with the
Right.
exercises that we had planned and everything. So I'm very excited about it.
I am too. Girl, I'm loving the sponsorships that are aligned with what you're doing. That is amazing. That's
Yes.
beautiful.
Thank you.
There's a question in here that I hadn't even thought of,
Okay.
Diamond. Okay. Sin wants to know, how do you create security with ocean water creatures?
Ooh. Okay. So that's a good question. That's a really good question. We're not going far enough out to really get into the deepest of the waters
Okay,
with
okay.
our boat excursion. So I don't know that we'll encounter sea animals of that, type,
Mm-hmm,
to be honest with you. But I am trusting the professionals that I'm working with. I
mm-hmm.
am trusting the captain of that yacht to take us out to a safe place where we don't have to be concerned about that. I am
Yes.
trusting the swim instructors to make sure that this is the type of water that we need to be in. I am trusting the lifeguards to be on point should there be any challenges while we're in that open water. So that's how I have tried to secure the fact that once we get
That's
out
great.
there, we're going to have mission accomplished.
Great, great, great. Oh my gosh. Sin says, congratulations for creative healing innovation. That is beautiful. She
Thank
said,
you.
some people learn to swim when younger, their bodies change, aka weight gain. Do you have body confidence steps? I'm a full figured woman. So do we
Mhm.
address that in the retreat so that we're
Absolutely.
oh great, great.
We have an amazing Colombian-based African American sister who has expated to that area, and she does mindfulness and body work. So, as
Okay.
I said earlier, we're going to get in tune with our bodies. We're going to become one with the water before we ever start learning how to breathe or move. We are going
Okay.
to embrace it as our new environment. So, with the help of professional facilitators, yes, we're going to get in touch with all the things. So bring your full body self, your whatever body I got, that's the one that's showing up,
Yes, yes.
and
That
plenty of
is
bathing suits. Yeah, because we're going
that
to be
is
in and out of that
amazing.
pool. Yeah.
That is amazing. I am so grateful, Gallivanting Grandma, that you are doing this. And
Thank
I know
you.
that there are many, many women, hundreds of women, thousands of women that are grateful for it as well. And I'm
Yeah.
praying that their finances are going to allow them to do it.
Yes.
Timing is going to be perfect. and that everybody that attends is going to grow. They're going to be blessed. And then they're the next time it's not going to be a one-time event for them. They're going
No,
to be returning customers and bringing more sisters to this wonderful, wonderful event. Is there
thank you.
anything that you want to say in closing?
Yes, well, I'm excited because this is perfect timing for us to be talking. I respect the fact that everybody doesn't have the same time flexibility and freedom that some of the others of us have, right?
Yes.
So people are like, listen, I want to learn how to swim. I want to come to this retreat, but I can't do 10 days. And so I heard that enough that I said, okay, I hear you. I received that. So I have just put on my website 2 5-day packages. The
Oh,
the first
wow.
Yeah, the first 5 days is all about the swim. And that's what it's called, all about the swim, baby. So you're going to get the intensive swim instruction, you're going to get the mindfulness and body work, and you're going to jump off the back of that yacht with us. So it's a 5-day, 4-night intensive Lux learning experience for people who don't know how to swim and don't have 10 days.
Go,
Now,
girl.
on the back end, you're going to come in the night before we jump off the boat because we want you there as our supporters. So this is the sisterhood support package. It's the
Hmm.
last 5 days for those who do know how to swim, but want to come and encourage us, be our cheerleaders. You don't have a whole 10 days to spend in Colombia. Come for the last 5 and join us in this luxury
Wow.
experience. So enjoy Colombia with us. So it is right. It was just last night, actually, that I put those 2 packages up. So there are 2 5-day packages, swimmers and non-swimmers. So
Oh my
I've
God.
eliminated any reason why you can't join us.
That is amazing. That is, girl, now that is great. That is good. That is good. I forget,
It's just
you
the
know,
feedback from the sisterhood. It's the feedback
yes,
from the sisterhood.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, that its help is important and you're listening.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought about the fact that some people can't do 10 days because we we free.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but there are some individuals who are on the journey. They're in transition, and so their time is limited. So I'm so grateful that those who wanted to come spoke out and said, "Look, I really want to come, but I need you to meet me halfway," and you
Yeah.
were able to accommodate them. Now, tell me again. So there's two retreats. There's the 5 day, and then there's the 10 day. So the 5 day is called what?
So I have 2 5-day packages. So
Oh,
the
okay.
entire retreat itself is 10 days. Um, and if you can't do 10 days, then you can come on the first 5 and learn how to swim with us, or the last 5 and celebrate the swim with us.
Oh,
Either way,
wow.
you can be with the sisterhood. And those women who are there for the 10 days, they are going to need all the encouragement that they can get
Yes. Yes.
from the sisterhood. People are like, this sounds like a great trip, but I already know how to swim. Can I come? And I heard that enough that I was like, you sure can. Let me make that possible for you, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is great.
Yeah.
This,
So
Diamond, this has been amazing. Oh, I've learned
thank
so much.
you. Thank you.
And I'm just
The
so
Thank
happy for
you.
you.
I appreciate the opportunity to share it as much as possible across the platforms because, again, it's personal. Like I
Yes.
said, I would not be doing this probably if I knew how to swim.
Yes.
Just the fact that I can go into 5 feet of pool water and do aerobics three
Mm.
days a week is huge for me because I
Yes.
would never have I'm like in the baby part, like it's not
Right.
coming past
Right.
my cat because I can't swim. But now I'm
Right.
actually doing water aerobics in 5 feet of pool. And that's because it's a shift in mindset, right?
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
what we have to do. We have to put that faith in front of our fear. And all the details are on my website at
Yes.
back to the number 2, backtothewater.org.
Great. Thank you so much. That was my next question. Please let people know how to get in contact with you, how to
Mhm.
sign up. I do not want
Yes.
anybody to miss the opportunity to go to this that really want to go.
Yeah, and don't wait till next year because I have sisters literally around the globe. My sisters in Portugal are like, "Are you going to bring it to Portugal?" My sister, my sisters in Costa Rica are like, "You coming back to Costa Rica?" Because I did a wellness retreat there last year. So they like, "Are you coming? Are you bringing it here? Are you bringing it to Barbados?" I got people who want it all over the world. And that's such a huge blessing,
Yes,
right?
it is. Yes, it
Yeah,
is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love it. Again, Diamond, thank you so much for accepting my invitation to come and share
gratitude.
about Back to the Water Swim Retreat. I'm excited for you. I know that this is going to be it's already successful. So
Thank
I'm
you.
just excited, excited, excited. And I'm excited for each and every individual who's going to come and be blessed by this
Yes.
wonderful event.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity. You know, it's all about the sisterhood working together because we are stronger together.
Yes, we are.
You know, so with your retreats that are going on in Mexico, this and so many other sisters doing phenomenal things around the globe, you know, let's collaborate and each one reach one more,
Yes,
right?
yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Savvy.
You are so welcome. Okay, that's it for today. Until next time, be well, live free, and prosper.
Peace and blessings.